Hi there. This is the second lesson in our first section beginning Word 2013. Today we're going to talk about some interface changes and new features found in the 2013 version of Microsoft Word. So by the end of this lesson you will learn about the new Design tab, SkyDrive integration, and account features. So between 2010 and 2013 the ribbon has remained mostly unchanged with the exception of a new tab called Design. In 2010, most of these design features were found on the Page Layout ribbon. The Page Layout ribbon has now been repurposed to only contain items particularly related to the layout of the page and not design. In 2010, it kind of had a dual purpose, which was a little confusing. So Microsoft added a new Design tab, which contains our theme, colors, and fonts, effects, watermark, page color, and page border, all which were on the Page Layout tab in 2010. Now we have a new area in the middle, our Document Formatting Gallery. This was around in 2010, but it wasn't presented like this. So we have various styles here. Now these styles change based on the style set or theme we have selected. So if I change the theme here, these things will change. The colors will change, the fonts will change, etc. If I change the colors here, like to orange, notice we have changes up here as well. So the theme, colors, and fonts change what we have in the Document Formatting Gallery. Anytime we have previews with a drop down, Microsoft refers to this as a gallery. That's the only new ribbon, and document formatting is really the only new category. Everything else was in 2010 just on the Page Layout tab. So let's go into Backstage, and you will see a new button over here called Account. To use Office 2013, you're not required to, but you can have an account. The reason for this is twofold. One, you might be getting Office 2013 via Office 365, the online pay-by-the-month delivery system. If that's the case, you will have an account because that's how you'll sign in to Office. You have to be signed in to make sure you're actually licensed to use the product. If you are using the desktop version, like I am, you're seeing I'm using Professional Plus 2013, you don't have to sign in. You don't have to have an account, but if you do, you gain access to several features. One is SkyDrive integration. Notice I'm signed in an account here, justin@slanecorp.com, my Microsoft account, and it automatically connected my SkyDrive. So I can now save documents to my SkyDrive. Now that's something you could do in 2010, but it wasn't as neatly integrated as it is in 2013. In 2010, if you open something from the SkyDrive web interface, you could save it back to it, or you could use your SkyDrive folder, but it wasn't, like I said, as neatly integrated. Now, if I want to add another SkyDrive, I can do that. I can add a SharePoint. If I'm using Office 365 in the enterprise or education area, part of the feature set is a SharePoint site that the administrator can create, so I can save directly to that. I can share my document via Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter, or I can add images using a new app called Facebook for Office, Flickr, or YouTube, where I can directly upload items to either Flickr, YouTube, or link them with Facebook. I have some new options here for Office background and theme. Theme was in 2010, but it was buried in the options. It was not readily available. There's only three themes available: white, dark gray, and light gray and dark gray. The background, all of these, you'll notice I point to them, I get a preview. It's what appears up here. So we'll turn on, let's see, which one looks good here. We'll use spring. So notice I get some leaves up here, etc. If I change my theme to white, my leaves will kind of dim out. Light gray, notice, so the theme changes the little bit and it changes the interface over here. Alright, let's look at Open. This has been Open and Save As have been redesigned for 2013. Instead of just popping up the dialog box like this, which has been standard in versions of Office for quite a while, we now get a Backstage presentation with various options we have. We can look at recent documents. We can go right to the SkyDrive. Like I said, complete SkyDrive integration here. I can click a folder and save in this folder. Just go ahead and save my document in this folder. Notice it's contacting my SkyDrive now for information. The first time you open Word each day, if you haven't connected to SkyDrive, it will take a moment to connect. After that, it is pretty seamless. It doesn't take very long at all. This is taking longer than normal. I'm not going to wait for it. Well, there we go. There's our, and it just popped, since I hit cancel, it just popped up my document since I canceled SkyDrive. So let me try again. Let me try one more time here and see if, there we go. So there's my SkyDrive popped up, and these folders are living on my SkyDrive, and I can save to it now, as you notice, just like a regular folder on my computer. So if I were to save this as, I'm not going to save this, but if I were to save this as Office document and hit if I were to open this file here, excuse me, I'm in Open Not. So if I were to click this file and open it, it would open up. If I go to Save As, notice the exact same interface except I won't have recent. Go to my SkyDrive here and type in Office Document, and if I were to hit Save, this would save to my SkyDrive and be available in the Open dialog, the SkyDrive web interface, or any of the SkyDrive apps for iOS, Android, etc. Alright, just a note, Save as Adobe PDF is not a new feature. This is because I have Acrobat 11 installed on my computer, which installs this menu item. However, I can still save as a PDF by going down to Export and clicking right here, Create PDF XPF Document. If you do not have Acrobat installed, this Create Adobe PDF will not be here or here. That is not a new feature in Word. This, however, like I said, will still allow me to create a PDF of my document. I can also, to get a PDF, go to Save As, add where I want to go. We'll go to Documents and simply choose PDF from the drop-down. Now, the new function has been redesigned a little bit as well. You'll see now, instead of getting categories for templates, we have a totally template view here with a bunch of what it decides are popular, recently used, whatever templates. Blank is always the first one. The documents that you have, any theme or template, excuse me, that you've used recently will appear up here. And then we just have some generic ones. I can search by clicking a suggested search or typing in something. So let's see, we'll type in cards, which is one of the suggested ones. We'll type in cards, and here's all these different cards. Now when I go to a category, I'll get a list on the right of all the different categories of cards. So if we go to education, only show me education cards. Graduation name cards, for example, I'll get a preview, I'll get a rating, some descriptions, and then if I click create, I will open the document. So let me go to one here. Let's see, these look good. So if we create, it downloads my template quickly, and then it opens it in the document. And notice here, this template actually created a table. The whole thing's in a table, then there's text boxes in each cell. And we'll talk about tables, of course, in detail later in the course. That's about all the time we have for this video. So in this video, we covered the new Design tab and new Backstage view, some changes to the Backstage view, account, SkyDrive integration, etc. in Word 2013.